ಕೇಲಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಸಪ್ತಋಷಿಗಳ ಪಾದಾವೃಂದದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಸ್ಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಈ ದಿನದ ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆರಂಭಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. I request all the delegates for better audio experience. Please use headphone and mute yourself on your entry. Queries can be put through chat box with participant's name and affiliation. All the questions will be answered at the end of the webinar. The host will ask queries on your behalf with your name and affiliation during the question and A session. If in case the delegates get disconnected due to any reason, he or she can rejoin with the help of the same link provided. All the participants are requested to fill the feedback form which will be shared at the end of today's webinar session, and e-certificate will be provided for all the participants who will fill the feedback. One more last instruction: at the end of today's webinar, we have planned for photo session. We request all the participants and even the speaker to switch on the video at the end of Q&A session. Thank you. A very good afternoon and cordial welcome to one and all present here. I am Dr. Pratibha KS, Coordinator, Department of Biotechnology and NSS Program Officer. It's my great privilege to host today's national level virtual webinar on prevention strategies for hepatocellular carcinoma, a liver cancer. Today, KLE Society's S. Nijalingappa College, Department of Biotechnology organized IQAC initiated national level virtual webinar. This virtual webinar we have organized as a part of institutional social responsibility. Today in this virtual webinar, we have with us Dr. Prasanna K. Santekadu from JSS Academy of Higher Education, Research and Mysore. Respected today's speaker, principal, IQAC coordinator, heads of various departments, esteemed colleagues, delegates and students. Before proceeding towards today's virtual webinar, I feel it is my privilege and honor to introduce briefly about our institution, KLE Society and S. Nijalingappa College. KLE Society is one of the prestigious and large educational society, not only in India, but also at global level under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Prabhakar B. Koreji, sir. The society proudly manages with elevated number of institutional up to 270 in various fields of education, including research in India and abroad with the quality concept. Ladies and gentlemen, our KLE Society's S. Nijalingappa College is affiliated to Bengaluru City University and re-accredited by NAC at A+ grade college with UGC Stride Component 1. Currently, college is offering science, arts, commerce and various management course for the benefit of students community. Yes, Nijalingappa College has been forefront in organizing many virtual programs for the welfare of students and faculty fraternity. KLE Society's S. Nijalingappa College management, principal and various heads of the department welcomes wholeheartedly all the delegates and our today's special invited speaker who joined across nation to hear today's virtual webinar. The main sole aim of today's virtual webinar is to bring awareness on prevention strategies of liver cancer at different domains in our day-to-day life. Without any further delay, let us begin today's national level virtual webinar by invoking the blessings of the Lord Almighty and ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್. ಓ ದೇವರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯದೊಡನೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸು, ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಧನ ಮತ್ತು ಸೌಹಾರ್ದದೊಡನೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸು, ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಶಾಂತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂತೋಷದೊಡನೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸು, ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಿನ್ನ ಭಕ್ತಿಯೊಡನೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸು. ಓ ದೇವರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಮಬದ್ಧವಾದ ವ್ಯಾಯಾಮ ಮಾಡುವಂತೆ, ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಆಹಾರ ಸೇವಿಸುವಂತೆ, ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಜೀವನ ಶೈಲಿಯನ್ನು ನಡೆಸುವಂತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸದಾ ತಾಜಾ ಗಾಳಿಯನ್ನು ಸೇವಿಸುವಂತೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸು. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. For me, it's an honor to welcome you all to this August gathering. I would like to welcome Dr. Prasanna K. Santekadu, Associate Professor, Department of Biochemistry, CEMR, JSS Medical College, JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, Mysore, on behalf of KLE Society's S. Nijalingappa College, Management, Principal and Heads of various departments. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for joining us. I would like to welcome respected Principal Dr. Arun Kumar B. Sonapanavar, who is the driving force behind all our SNJLingappa College various virtual program. We welcome you, sir, to this national webinar. I also welcome IQAC coordinator, heads of various departments, esteemed colleagues, delegates and students to this national level virtual webinar on prevention strategies for hepatocellular carcinoma, a liver cancer. It's my great privilege and honor to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Prasanna K. Santekadu. I'm very proud to introduce today's most youngest achiever and enthusiastic invited speaker, Dr. Prasanna K. Dr. Prasanna Kumar completed his BSc course from Sahyadri Science College, Coimbatore University, Shimoga, MSc Biotechnology from University of Mysore, and he took PhD Biotechnology from University of Mysore. He has postdoctoral research experience as a postdoctoral fellow and a senior postdoc. He served as assistant professor, senior scientist, and currently he's working as associate professor at JSS Medical College, Mysore. Dr. Prasanna Kumar has 17 years of experience in metabolic syndrome and cancer research. After clearing UGC CSIR exam, he has completed his PhD from the University of Mysore on 2009. Then he moved to Virginia Commonwealth University, Virginia, United States for postdoctoral studies. Later, Dr. Prasanna Kumar worked as an assistant professor at McGuire Research Institute, VA Medical Center and Virginia Commonwealth University. After spending almost 10 years at different institutes at USA, Dr. Prasanna joined JSS Medical College in the year 2019. His major research contribution includes discovery of new patterns in RNA-induced silencing complex and their oncogenic role in NAFLD-associated hepatocancerogenesis. Dr. Prasanna has more than 40 research publications in high-impact journals with over 1,629 citations. We can give him a big round of applause here, but this is a virtual platform. I can't ask everyone to unmute. And he also, in his credentials, H index of 20. He is also working as an associate editor of Frontiers in Oncology, academic editor of Journal of Oncology, and EDOC reviewer for more than 20 peer-reviewed journals and published more than 39 peer-reviewed international journals, including journals of hepatology, cancer research, and clinical cancer research. Dr. Prasanna is a recipient of many national and international awards. To name few, like Best Interactive Scientist Award, prestigious Ramalinga Swamy Entry Fellowship by the Ministry of Department of Biotechnology, the Government of India on 2018. Senior Research Associateship, SRA Fellowship by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Government of India on 2018. UCU Mastery Cancer Center Associate Membership, a Flock Incorporated Scholar in Training Award from American Association of Cancer Research, Young Investigator Award from American Association of Indian Scientists in Cancer Research, Excellence in Cancer Research Award, Senior Research Fellowships by the Joint UGC and CSIR of India, Government of India, Junior Research Fellowship by the Joint UGC and CSIR Government of India, NET, and he has secured 10th rank in BSc at Coimbatore University, Shimoga. Currently, he is guiding PhD and master degree students. He had been invited as guest speakers by many national and international platforms. His current research work is primarily focused on understanding the molecular basis of development and pathogenesis of diet and obesity of induced non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, that is NAFLD, and hepatocellular carcinoma, that is HCC. Okay, Dr. Prasanna is also a writer in Kannada. He speaks very good Kannada language. His notable Literacy work include Sue, a scientific novel, and Maya Panjara, a short story collections. I'm very happy and proud. He is my junior and my sister classmate too. We met when we were studying BSc at Sahyadri Science College, Shivamoga. With this brief credentials of Dr. Prasanna Kumar, I, Dr. Pratibha KS, present before you one of the youngest achiever and enthusiastic invited today's speaker, Dr. Prasanna K. Santa Kadur. Over to Dr. Prasanna, sir. Now this virtual platform is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a kind introduction, madam. Today I am going to talk about prevention strategies for hepatocellular carcinoma, in other words, liver cancer. In between, if somebody wants to some information in Kannada, I'm fine. If you need any information in Kannada also, I will explain. You know, here, we have a lot of bachelor students, BSc students. After BSc, you may have many plans to do master degree or to do PhD or to go to industries and various aims. You know, every journey starts from single steps. According to Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, he gave very famous statements. According to him, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with single step. You know, every journey starts from single step. Even a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. To start your journey, we need to watch your thoughts. You are all like students. Therefore, you need to watch your thoughts. They will become your words. They become your words, and watch your words. They become your actions. Watch your actions. They become your habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. And watch your character. It's become your destiny. You know, you may have seen many achievers. They did this thing. First, they watch their thoughts, and they become their words, and they watch their words, and they become their actions, and they watch their actions, they become their habits, and they watch their habits, they become their character. They watch their character, finally it becomes their destiny. Every destiny, it depends on these words. Therefore, we need to think positively, and we need to watch our thoughts. Thoughts controls everything. You know, in Sanskrit, there is a famous quote, Yadbhavam Tadbhavati. If you think positively, you will achieve something great in your life. Therefore, we need to watch our thoughts. I started my journey, as Dr. Pratibha mentioned. I started my BSc I did my BSc in Sahyadri Science College, Shivamoga. Later, I joined University of Mysore to do my master degree in biotechnology. And after completing my master degree, I did PhD from same department. Then I went to Virginia Commonwealth University to do my first postdoctoral fellowship. Then I moved to Baylor Institute for Immunology Research for some time. And again, I came back to VCU as an assistant professor. This is my journey. And I thought of moving back to India. And me and my wife both applied for Ramalinga Swamy Re-Entry Fellowship from DBT. And we both got this fellowship simultaneously. And we joined JSS Medical College. This is our journey. And you know, now due to this global pandemic, we are getting a lot of information about various things, various information. This is like info obesity. Every person gives a lot of information. As a science students, we need to know more about how diet plays a very important role in our life. Diet, nutrition, our lifestyle controls everything in our life, including our disease status and even our immune system. Everything is controlled by our diet, nutrition, and also lifestyle. Today, I'm going to talk about how diet, nutrition, lifestyle controls cancer, especially hepatocellular carcinoma or liver cancer. and it also controls our survival. So this is a very famous picture. You all know these people. One common thing about all these people is these are centenarians. What are centenarians means? These people lived more than 100 years. This is Allama Prabhu, a famous 12th century poet and philosopher. And this is Ramanujacharya. He is 10th century uh, philosopher. And this is Shivkumar Swamiji of Siddhaganga, you know him very well. And this is Sarvam Vishwesharaya. This is Salumarada Timmaka, and this is A.N. Murthy Rao. A.N. Murthy Rao is a famous Kannada writer. And you know all these people. One common thing about all these people, they lived more than 100 years. Therefore, we call them centenarians. These are few centenarians or old people, great people. And this is Allama Prabhu, this is Ramanujacharya, this is Shivkumar Swami, this is Saram Vishwesharaya, this is Salumarada Timmaka, and this is A.N. Murthy Rao. What is common in these people? These people had very good lifestyle. We know about Allama Prabhu, we know about Ramanujacharya, we know Shivkumar Swamiji very well, and even Saram Vishwesharaya. They had very good lifestyle. You know, when they were there, they didn't have TVs, they didn't have computers, they didn't have iPhones, and they didn't have Western sophisticated dietary habit. And you can see these people. You also know about these people, I think. You know, these people gone to zone. These are achievers. They died very young. You know, this is Sri Krishna Alanalli. He is a famous Kannada writer. He wrote famous novels, including Kadu, Prasangada Gentetimma, and Bhujangaina Dashavatara. These are famous novels by this Sri Krishna Alanalli. This is, you know, singer Raju Ananta Swami. He is son of very famous singer Mysuru Ananta Swami. And you know, this Cafe Coffee Day Siddharth. And this is Michael Jackson. This is a famous Telugu film actress Aarti Agarwal. This is a very famous Hollywood actress Marilyn Monroe. These people died. They achieved great in their life very soon, and they died when they were quite young. What is the difference between these people and these people? These people have very bad lifestyle and their habits. This Sri Krishna Alanalli used to drink a lot, and you know, as a writer, he used to sit overnight and he used to write a lot of things in night time without having proper sleep and proper dietary habit. And this is Rajananda Swami. And he used to drink a lot of alcohol. And you know, Siddharth had a financial crisis. Financial crisis also controls our mind state, and it leads to a lot of stress. And this is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson he was a drug addict, and he used to never sleep, and he had a lot of problem with his sleep. And this Aarti Agarwal, this lady, she undergone liposuction. Liposuction, you know, people who are obese, they want to get rid of their fat. They go to particular type of surgery called liposuction. Sometimes liposuction also very harmful to our body. This famous actress, Marilyn Monroe, she was very famous in 1950s and 1960s. She also was a drug addict, and due to their lifestyle, they died quite when they were quite young. And you know, you may have seen this picture. KFC, this is McDonald's, and you know, Mac Aloo Tikki, Mac Burgers, Mac all this food from McDonald's and KFC. Before, like in 1996 or 2000, we didn't add these KFC, McDonald's, and all these things in India. Now, if you go to any big cities, you will see this McDonald's, KFC, and a lot of Pizza Huts. And you know, you can see this giraffe. Usually, giraffe is a very lean size. When McDonald from USA, when it entered into Africa, some cartoonist wrote this famous cartoon. After eating McDonald diet, this African giraffe become too much obese. It looked like almost African elephant. This is what, Western dietary habit, Western high calorie diet controls our lifestyle and food habit, and also it will lead to a lot of problems. Now people talks about obesity, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and hepatocellular carcinoma. Due to changed lifestyle, before 1990s in India, a lot of people were quite lean in their body mass and all those things, BMI. But after 2000, a lot of people, they got TVs, they got two-wheelers, they got various vehicles and all those things. And we have now mobile phones, TVs, computers, all these things changed our lifestyle. We started having a lot of sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle leads to various health issues, including obesity, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and HCC. I will explain what is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in the further slides. Why we need to study liver, why we need to do liver research in India. According to recent report from Zydus company, pharmaceutical company, almost 400 million Indians are at risk of developing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and almost all are unaware about it. 400 millions means almost 40 crore people. 40 crore means, suppose if Indian population is 120 million, then almost 40 crore people are suffering from fatty liver. But without knowing it, this is a major health issue.
Dr. Prasanna,
Therefore,
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not able to see your slide.
okay, just a
Please
minute.
share screen. Again, you can share screen. Yeah, now it's sharing. Only one
Okay.
slide we missed. Yeah, this slide.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, this one we have seen.
Okay, this one.
Thank you.
Why we need to do liver research in India? According to recent report from Zydus pharmaceutical company, almost 400 million Indians are at risk of developing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and almost all are unaware about it. Imagine 40 crore people in 120 million population is almost 33% of population is suffering from fatty liver. Fatty liver, I will explain you what is fatty liver. Obesity also obesity also controls epigenetic modification. This epigenetic modification indirectly controls various health issues. Therefore, we need to know all these things. Therefore, we need to control our obesity. Along with obesity, a lot of other factors, including diet, physical activity, chemicals, stress, all these things changes our epigenetic modification along with diet. Obesity is also directly linked to cardiovascular disease. During COVID now, the young people with high body mass index, they have a lot of people have cardiovascular disease, and a lot of young people are dying due to this obesity and cardiovascular disease. Obesity also directly linked to sleep apnea, diabetic retinopathy, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and also metabolic syndrome. And finally, all these things indirectly leads to cancer. Obesity is indirectly, directly linked to cancer. Liver is one of the very important organ. It is associated with atherogenic dyslipidemia, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, all these things, including obesity, is also directly linked to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease means simply accumulation of too much fat in liver is called fatty liver. If fatty liver further progress to for another 5 to 10 years, it will lead to inflammation. Then we call non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This inflamed liver further leads to hepatocellular carcinoma or liver cancer. Therefore, we need to focus more on liver health. This is why we need to give importance to our liver health. We have this meditation increases one hormone called melatonin. melatonin, if you do meditation, if you do yoga, and if you have proper sleeping habit, our body produces melatonin hormone. If you don't have proper sleeping habit, if you don't have proper like lifestyle, melatonin level will be very less. Why we need to have melatonin? Melatonin controls our circadian rhythm. Sleep-wake cycle is controlled by this very good important hormone. This melatonin hormone has a lot of beneficial effect. It acts as antioxidant. This antioxidant property of this melatonin prevents anti-growth signaling in cancer. It also inhibits it activates anti-growth signaling. It inhibits tumor-promoting inflammation. It inhibits angiogenesis. It inhibits metastasis. Metastasis means tumor spreading from one part of the body to another part of the body. It prevents that also. It also inhibits immune invasion. Like now due to COVID, we have a lot of cytokine storm. It also prevents that type of immune invasion. It induces apoptosis. It kills cancer cells. It inhibits dysregulated metabolism in our body. It prevents replicative immortality. Replicative immortality means cancer cells have special property. They grow without dying. They grow for a long time. If you provide a lot of nutrition, they don't die. Cancer cell will not die. If you have this melatonin hormone, then it inhibits that property and it kills cancer cell. It also inhibits sustained proliferative signaling. It also inhibits genomic instability. Genomic instability means our DNA undergoes mutation due to various harmful chemicals. This melatonin prevents that harmful effect of various chemicals and it keeps our genome as intact and it preserves our genome. Therefore, it prevents genomic instability. Therefore, this melatonin hormone has very useful function in our body. This melatonin hormone is also like prevents breast cancer. A lot of night shift workers, especially hospital nurses, they get breast cancer due to melatonin rhythm disruption. They don't get proper sleep in night time. Therefore, their brain don't produce a lot of their brain will not produce a lot of melatonin. Therefore, they have disruption in their circadian rhythm. This will lead to aberrant epigenetic modification, hypermethylation. It will indirectly activate various cell proliferation. This will lead to cancer. This is how a lot of night shift workers and people who don't get proper sleep during night time and people who watch a lot of TVs in night time, a lot of iPhones in the night time, they get their disruption, circadian disruption due to imbalance in melatonin hormone. It will indirectly lead to cancer. But if you have proper melatonin level, it will prevent all these harmful effects. And melatonin also improves fatty liver syndrome. I was explaining fatty liver means just excess accumulation of fat in our liver. This melatonin also inhibits that accumulation of fat in our liver and it helps liver function. It makes liver healthy. Therefore, melatonin is very important for even for our liver health and also it prevents fatty liver and also liver cancer. And what is hepatocellular carcinoma? Like now we know liver has more than 500 different functions. It does various functions. And what is hepatocellular carcinoma then? Hepatocellular carcinoma is the most common type of primary liver cancer in adults. This is it is a liver, and you can see this is a hepatocellular carcinoma. It's a type of liver cancer, and it is very common. And what are the causes and risk factors for liver cancer? Liver is a very useful and largest organ in our body. And what are the causes and risk factors for liver cancer? Now we know a lot about the SARS-CoV-2 or coronavirus. And there are other viruses also present in nature. One is hepatitis B virus. This is a DNA virus. Coronavirus is a RNA virus. This hepatitis B virus is a DNA virus. And we have one more virus called hepatitis C. This hepatitis C is a RNA virus. These hepatitis B and hepatitis C virus, they cause liver cancer. And alcohol. People who drink a lot of alcohol for a long time, they get alcoholic fatty liver disease. Finally, they get alcoholic cirrhosis, and finally, liver cancer. And this is how alcohol causes liver cancer. Initially, alcohol activates a lot of liver macrophages, and due to this LPS from bacteria. And when like people who take a lot of alcohol, they disrupt their gut microbiota, bacteria in their gut. These good bacteria will go, and harmful bacteria will grow in gut or intestine. Those bacteria produces a lot of harmful chemicals called LPS. This LPS activates various signaling, inflammatory signaling in liver, and it also activates super cell in liver. This will lead to steatosis, or just accumulation of fat in liver. Finally, it will lead to inflammation and fibrosis. Fibrosis means at this stage, a lot of collagen fibers will be produced in the liver. That will lead to hardening of liver. Liver becomes very hard. Smooth liver becomes very hard at this stage. Finally, it leads to cirrhosis, and further it will progress to liver cancer. This is how alcohol causes liver cancer. And there is a chemical called aflatoxin. Now, due to COVID, a lot of people were talking about the black fungus and the mucormycosis and all those things. This aflatoxin is produced by one type of fungi called Aspergillus flavus. This Aspergillus flavus produced aflatoxin causes liver cancer. Sometimes you may have seen groundnut or peanut contaminated with some green color fungus. That fungus is a Aspergillus flavus. That fungus produces harmful chemical called aflatoxin. Aflatoxin also causes liver cancer. I used to work with one gene called AG1. When I completed my PhD, I moved to Virginia Commonwealth University. I joined this Dr. Devanand Sarkar's lab. He is my mentor, and this is the Dr. Paul B. Fisher. He is a mentor of my mentor, and this is the Dr. Su. I used to work with Dr. Su too, and this is he is the one who identified this oncogene called AG1, and he is the one who cloned this gene. After doing 30 years of cancer research, and he finally got liver cancer, and he died due to liver cancer. This is Dr. Su, and he cloned this gene called astrocyte elevated gene 1, and this is also called by other names lyric or metadherin, and it is encoded in like a human gene MTDH encodes this particular AG1 gene, and he is the one who cloned that gene, and he died due to liver cancer. After doing 30 years of cancer research, finally got liver cancer. I used to ask him what is the cause for this liver cancer, and many people used to make fun of him. He cloned AG1 gene, and maybe accidentally he ingested this AG1 gene through adenovirus vector. Therefore, he got liver cancer like that. People used to make fun. In our colleagues, some of our colleagues, they used to make fun. But he used to tell, I used to eat a lot of groundnut in Shanghai region in China. Shanghai region in China is very well known for that liver cancer. And he used to tell, I used to eat a lot of groundnut. Maybe by accidentally I may had this aflatoxin toxicity that may lead to my cancer like that. He used to explain. And based on his life, I wrote this small novel in Kannada. And I put his name, like this Su means this is the complete name is Chojang Su. This is the name of that this scientist. Based on his life, and there is another lady called Henrietta Lacks. I wrote this Kannada novel, and it got a lot of attention in Kannada literary world, and a lot of people appreciated, very well known writers appreciated this novel. And this AG1 gene is an oncogene. Oncogene means gene which causes cancer. This oncogene is overexpressed in almost all types of cancer. This particular gene is to activate almost all the hallmarks of cancer: angiogenesis, cell survival, cell proliferation, invasion, metastasis. And it also used to control drug resistance or chemo resistance. It also activates endothelial adhesion and metastasis. I used to work with that particular gene along with Dr. Su and along with my mentor, Dr. Devanand Sarkar. And we had one hypothesis. And we did a lot of experiments. And we identified one AG1 interacting protein. And we identified this particular protein or gene, SND1. It used to interact with AG1. And AG1 is also interact with this argonate-2 protein. These three proteins together, they used to control risk activity. Risk is a, like RNA-induced silencing activity. A lot of time we used to talk about gene knockout or gene suppression. For gene knockout or gene suppression, we need this risk complex. People who knock out particular gene based on this risk complex. And we talks about microRNA, siRNA. Everything is controlled by this risk complex. This is how this risk complex works. Whenever this microRNA comes from this nucleus, and this is how synthesis of microRNA takes place. Once this microRNA comes from this nucleus to cytosol, it binds to various mRNA. mRNA means, now we talk about mRNA vaccines and all those things. These microRNA targets various genes and they used to degrade those mRNAs and they used to control various gene expression. This risk complex controls our gene expression. I know this is very little bit difficult for BSc students, and I will go to further slides. And this is how we identified these three proteins. They form a big complex in risk, and we publish these three proteins act as oncogenes. All these oncogenes, they control various tumor suppressor genes. Tumor suppressor genes means cancer-causing genes, cancer-suppressing genes. These are oncogenes, causes cancer, but they inhibit tumor suppressor genes by downregulation. And this is how they used to form, it causes liver cancer or hepatocarcinogenesis. These three genes, they used to cause, they cause liver cancer. This is based on our study. We published this study in Hepatology Journal. And further, we showed that this SND1 also activates tumor angiogenesis. Angiogenesis means formation of small blood capillaries. These capillaries, they help to grow these cancer cells. Therefore, we used to call tumor angiogenesis. And this SND1 protein used to induce this tumor angiogenesis. Therefore, it used to support cancer, growing cancer cells. And also, it used to activate invasion and migration so that cancer cell can migrate from one place to other place. And this is to metastasis of cancer cells. And we also published these data in two different journals. One is in JBC and another one is in FEB's Open Bio Journal. And major findings from 10 years of my research. Based on my research, we identified that risk proteins are involved in liver cancer. And this SND1, a component of risk complex, also activates inflammation and angiogenesis. And this SND1 also increased fibrosis-related proteins TGF-beta and PA1. This is my major findings in my 10 years of research in USA. And I saw one paper recently, 2 years back. According to that paper, high-fructose corn syrup and fructose causes various health issues, including cancer. HFCS enhances intestinal tumor growth in mice. We have this fructose, corn syrup. We eat a lot of corn. If you make too much high fructose from that corn, concentrated fructose solution from that corn, if you drink this high fructose corn syrup for longer time, this will enhance intestinal tumor growth in mice. This high fructose, I will explain you later where this high fructose is present. Fructose is a fruit sugar. Again, problem with sharing?
Dr. Prasanna sir, yeah. Please share it again.
Just a minute. Okay. You can see now? fructose is a fruit sugar. You know, fruit. We eat a lot of fruits. This fruit sugar, if it present in too much concentration, high concentration along with glucose, we call high fructose syrup. This, if you have more amount of glucose and fructose together, and if you drink too much that drink for a long time, it will lead to tumor growth. And somebody did some experiments using low dose fructose and high dose fructose. If they have low dose fructose, small intestine clears most fructose and glucose and organic acid made from fructose. And if you have high dose of fructose, there will be a problem with our gut microbiota or bacteria present in our gut, and it will lead to inflammation. It causes various health issues. And I saw this on high fructose corn syrup enhances intestine and tumor growth in mice. This is published in Science magazine. This is a very famous magazine. And the small intestine converts dietary fructose into glucose and organic acid. And this is also a very famous journal, Cell Metabolism, and it has almost 15 impact factors. And if you drink too much high fructose syrup, our body bacteria also converts this fructose into glucose and organic acids. Organic acids damages our intestine if they produce in large amount. A small amount is fine, but if it is in large amount, they cause problem to our gut. And you can see these conflicts. We eat conflicts nowadays due to our changed lifestyle. A lot of young people, they eat a lot of conflicts and, tomato ketchup and all these things. Now, if you go to supermarket, you can see all these things, Nutri-Grain and tomato ketchup and wheat thins and all these things. All these food, they have high fructose corn syrup. And even a lot of soft drinks, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, they put high fructose corn syrup. And these high fructose corn syrup, they produces a lot of calories. Due to high amount of calorie, they causes a lot of harmful effect, and they also causes obesity and all those things. And when I did a lot of work in USA, and again I thought of doing something with that my previous work, and we had some hypotheses. What is the role of SND1 and other RNA-induced silencing complex proteins in fatty liver-mediated HCC? And during my previous work, we know that this SND1 and other risk complex proteins, they causes HCC, and we also know that they induces fibrosis-related gene. And we also know that SND1 and AG1 both activates NF-kappa B and inflammation. This is how you can see this picture. This is normal liver. This is fatty liver. This is inflamed liver. This is a fibrotic liver. This is liver cancer. This is a series of progression, like from normal liver to, if you have too much fat, it will look like this. If you have too much fat along with inflammation, it looks like that. After smooth liver becomes hard at this stage, and finally we get liver cancer. We know all these things based on our previous work, but now we are looking for this one. What is the main cause for this SND1 to induce steatosis in liver? To check that, I will explain something other things. And after completing my postdoctoral research, I joined Dr. Arun J. Sanyal lab as an assistant professor. I used to work with him. He's one of the highly cited scientists in the world. He has more than 80,000 citations. And in 2017, VCU announced that he is one of the highly cited scientists in the world. I used to work with him. And his lab developed one animal model called diamond model. His lab, people used to work with some mice model, and that model is called diamond model. I will explain what is diamond model. And when I joined his lab, they used to work with that animal model. Diamond model means a diet-induced animal model for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and hepatocellular carcinoma. And they used to add one hybrid mice. This hybrid mice is a crossbreed of two different strains of mice. This is one strain of mice, and this is one strain of mice. And if they crossbreed these two strains, they used to get these hybrid mice. For that hybrid mice, they named diamond model or diamond preclinical mouse model of NFLD. To study liver disease, they developed these mice. And if you feed high calorie Western diet, like Western diet means high fructose, glucose, high fat Western diet to these mice for 4 to 8 weeks, these mice used to get liver steatosis. After 16 to 20 weeks, if you feed with this high calorie diet, they used to get steatohepatitis or fibrosis. If you feed these mice for almost 1 year, 45 to 52 weeks, they used to get liver cancer. These mice, if you feed just a diet without any carcinogen, without any virus, without any changing genes, just feeding high calorie diet, these mice used to get fatty liver. You can see this picture. This model is called a diet-induced animal model of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and hepatocellular carcinoma cancer. And you can see the difference. This is normal liver, normal mice. This is diamond mice. Diamond mice. This diamond mice mimics human NASH. These both are the diamond mice, but this is without high fat diet. This is with high fat diet. You can see this high fat diet fed diamond mice picture. This is diamond mice liver tissues pictures. This is human liver picture, human liver cancer and NASH pictures. You can compare both. They look almost same. Therefore, this mice liver mimics human liver, and this mice liver disease mimics human liver disease. And they published this paper in Journal of Hepatology. And later I wrote a famous review based on this paper in same journal. You can see this picture. This is normal chow diet. Chow diet means regular diet. This is Western diet. When we fed these mice with Western diet for 8 weeks, they used to get too much fat. This is for 24 weeks. Compared to normal chow diet mice, you can see too much fat here. And after 52 weeks, you can see liver tumors here. This is normal liver. These three are normal livers, normal liver. These are fatty liver. This is inflamed liver. This you can see liver cancer in mice. Liver cancer in mice. This is how high-calorie Western diet induces non-alcoholic steatohepatitis and hepatocellular carcinoma in diamond model mice. This happens in human beings also, but in mice it takes just 1 year. For in human beings it may take 10 years, 20 years. Therefore, this model clearly shows that high-calorie diet is harmful to our liver, and it may lead to liver cancer. Even it holds good for human beings also. Therefore, we need to take balanced diet, healthy diet, high fibrous diet. We need to avoid too much high calorie diet. High calorie diet means high carbohydrate diet, high fat diet. We need to avoid that. And based on that, we propose this hypothesis. In our hypothesis, obesity, high calorie diet and obesity induces these three genes. These are cancer genes. It may lead to suppression of various tumor suppressor genes, and it may lead to non-alcoholic steatohepatitis and hepatocellular carcinoma. We have some evidence. Based on that, we have this hypothesis, and we also have planned to use natural compounds like vitaferin A, quercetin, aspartame, capsaicin, all those natural compounds. We are targeting these this risk complex now. And based on our study, other people also, they showed that both AG1, the AG1 is also called MTDH1 and SND1 are interacts in breast cancer also. We showed this interaction in liver. Somebody had showed that even in the breast cancer also, these two genes interact and they increases tumorigenesis. And when they knock down this AG1 gene, and this SND1 undergo degradation, and it prevents the breast cancer tumor in breast cancer. Therefore, these two genes, not only in our study, even in other people's study also, they act as an oncogene and they interact together, and this study supports our hypothesis. And based on all this study, we can tell that obesity and risk of cancer. Obesity is not only increases risk of liver cancer, it is also increases risk of esophageal cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, colorectal cancer, and even prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, endometrial cancer, pancreatic cancer, gallbladder cancer, and breast cancer, and all these things. Because whenever cancer cell, like a small number of cancer cell or one cancer cell starts dividing, it requires too much amount of calorie and glucose. If people are obese, then they have huge amount of reservoir of fat and glucose. Those reservoirs support growing tumor cells or cancer cells, and therefore small number of cancer cells, they get huge amount of energy and the glucose, lipids, and all those things, and they divide very fast, and people will get a big tumor. Therefore, obesity supports cancer growth. We need to be careful about obesity. And now, what are the most important strategies for cancer prevention and survival? This is not only for liver cancer or HCC, this is for all types of cancer. What are the most important strategies for cancer prevention and survival? Dietary fibers and health. These vegetables, fruits, all these things, they have a lot of secondary metabolites and various antioxidant molecules, vitamins, and all these things. These chemicals are good for our health. Therefore, dietary fibers and health is directly linked to that. How much amount of dietary fibers we take, it controls that much amount of our health. Fiber can boost our digestion, weight loss, cancer prevention, and even help you for live longer. Before 2000, we didn't have this much bakery industries, and we used to eat cakes yearly once or twice. But now every week we eat cakes, lot of juices, and lot of high calorie diets, and even bakery industries are also increasing. Every street you can see bakeries, and our eating habit also changed. Previously we used to eat a lot of vegetables, fruits, and all those things, but now we eat a lot of high calorie diet. Therefore, dietary fibers controls our health. Previously, before 1990, before 1980, only very rich people used to get diabetes, or cardiovascular problem, and all those things. Now you can see every family has diabetic patients, every family has cardiovascular patients. This is due to change lifestyle, including dietary habit and sedentary lifestyle. And dietary fibers also produces short chain fatty acids and controls our health. This is our gut, our intestine. Our gut has a lot of bacteria. These bacteria we call gut microbiota or gut microbiome. These are very useful bacteria. When we eat a lot of fibrous food, these bacteria produces short chain fatty acids, including butyrate, propionate, and acetic acid. And all these things are good for our health. Whenever we have Western diet and these useful bacteria will go, harmful bacteria will come, they start producing LPS. This lipopolysaccharide is an inflammatory toxin. It induces various types of inflammation in liver, blood vessels, leukocytes, even in pancreas and other things. And it causes various harmful effects, including inflammatory bowel disease in our gut, and diabetes and cancer. Therefore, whenever you eat a lot of dietary fibers, fiber-rich food, we have this gut microbiota, good microbiota, and our body produces short chain fatty acids. It is good for health. Whenever we have Western diet, high-calorie diet, our body produces a lot of LPS, and it will lead to various inflammation-associated diseases. And therefore, we need to eat a lot of dietary fibers. And walking may reduce the cancer risk. Walking is one of the very important exercise. Just 15 minute daily walking can change your body. Not only it change your body, and it also reduces your cancer risk. And this walking, just 15-minute walking, boosts your mood. and it also increases better cognitive performance. It also lowers blood pressure. Now BP is in the younger generation is very high after lockdown. Why BP is suddenly increased in younger generation? After lockdown, a lot of young people, they stopped going out. They just sit inside the house and they eat a lot of food, that too high calorie food, and they don't do exercise, and their BP and blood glucose level and body mass index suddenly increases. That's why a lot of younger people are dying in COVID second wave. We need to, therefore, even 15-minute walking lowers our blood pressure and also prevent or controls our diabetes, and it also reduces risk of cancer. And not only risk of cancer, it reduces pain and improve our mobility, or like walking habit and all those things. Therefore, walking may reduce your cancer risk. Walking is one of the very good exercise. And he is a very famous Japanese writer. He is very known in world literature. He already, like many people are claiming that he may get Nobel Prize soon, like that. He is a very famous writer. He is already more than 70 years old. He looks like almost a 50-year-old person, but he is more than 70 now. Daily he runs at least 10 to 15 kilometers. Therefore, he is very good, fit and fine, and he is very famous writer. And we call this we call him as a running novelist. According to him, when I'm running, I don't have to talk to anybody and don't have to listen anybody. This is part of my day, and I can't do without it. Even every day he runs. Therefore, he gave this statement. And this is about Haruki Murakami, and his fitness secret is running. And when I was in US, I was in Richmond, Virginia. It is just 2.5 year distance from Washington, DC. And we had one Kannada association in Richmond. Whenever I used to go to that Kannada association, I used to meet this Vijay Malo. He is a doctor. He is a sports medicine doctor. And due to accident, he fell down from 12th floor to 11th floor. When climbing down the stairs, he fell down. Suddenly, he went to coma. When he went to coma, he got he was in coma for almost 3 months or 4 months. When he came back from coma, doctor told that he had lot of multiple blockages in his heart. He needs to go for quadruple bypass surgery. Later, he went for that bypass surgery, and after bypass surgery, he started taking ice cold water bath and shower daily, and he used to eat daily only 2 times. We regularly eat 3 times, but this person eat only 2 times in a day, and daily he takes ice cold water bath. And now, like when it was 20 years, 30 years back, when he was 70 years old, he celebrated his 70th birthday on Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is a famous hill, hill in famous mountain range in Africa. It is the highest peak in Africa. This Mount Kilimanjaro is a very big peak, and he climbed and he celebrated his 70th birthday on Mount Kilimanjaro. And after coming from that Mount Kilimanjaro, again he went to climb Mount Everest, and he went to Mount Everest base camp alone, and he came back from Mount Everest base camp, and he wrote this famous book, Towards Thin Air, from cardiac bypass to Everest bypasses. Accidentally, he fell down from 12th floor to 11th floor. He went to coma, and he went quadruple bypass surgery of the heart, and now he is fine. Recently, 3 years back, film actor Jagesh came to Richmond, and a lot of young boys, like 18-year, 20-year boys, used to dance with Jagesh. And even this old man, like now 78, 80-year-old man, used to dance with those young boys. This is the secret of health. And he daily does a lot of exercise, and his lifestyle modification changed everything. Therefore, lifestyle modification is very important for our proper health. And even lifestyle modification boosts our immunity. This is the story of this Dr. Vijay Malo. And cancer prevention tips. What are the main cancer prevention tips? Stop or never start smoking. People smoke. We need to stop smoking, or if you are not smoking, we need to never start the smoking. And we need to do the exercise. Smoking, like due to smoking, lot of harmful chemicals enters our lungs. Even during COVID, smoking people have a lot of health issues, and these chemicals which enters into our lungs causes inflammation and lung cancer. And that's why we need to stop smoking, and we need to never start smoking. And we exercise. Exercise is very important. Exercise helps overall health and prevent cancer. And people nowadays, due to change lifestyle, many even women